Good everyone, today's video, and today we have another episode of Dumb Comments, which I know you all love. And, well, we are starting off with what's technically not a comment on my channel, but it's a dumb reply, and I had to show this. I wasn't going to let this slide. So, I left this comment on Harry's channel. It was one of his P40C videos. And Jovaan replies there with, "What times are you in matches? Because I'd love to duel you." Pretty reasonable request. Pete obviously stirring the pot because Pete knows all about Jovaan and all this shit. Decides to bring up Troll Alert, which was pretty funny. Then Jovaan says, "I was talking about Joseph 2000. I need to challenge that scumbag." You might want to have a reality check, mate, because you're the one in the video featured team killing. You're the one that's actually doing that shit. So, yeah, I'm not the scumbag here. You are. So have a bit of a reality check before you say things like that. So, moving on to comment number one, which I'm just going to zoom that in for you. We have Gabor K on my Hampton Mark 1 sub request. And he's comparing a premium rank 4 prop to a rank 1 bomber with hardly any RP and SL modifiers. Yeah, one base and 4 planes, killing AI planes in an F2G, yes, it would have netted more, but you're not even considering the fact that it's 3 tiers higher, it's a premium, it has much higher SL modifiers and RP modifiers. So just have a good old fashioned thought. Like, actually think before you type, because come on, dude. I'd expect a little bit more common sense, like, because it's a rank 1 Hampton at 1.7, and you're comparing it to a 6.3 premium. It's just not that smart. And I've seen this guy comment some smart stuff, and seeing this just made my brain hurt. So yeah, try to think a little bit more before you speak, mate. On to the next one. We have Tony Pagenda. I don't know how you say that, but whatever. I mean, his lack of brain cells clearly represents the fact that his brain is not a brain, it's a fucking turnip. But anyway, this was on the T126 review, and he was making a reference to the point where a M2A4 blindly drove out in front of a Panzer III, a Panzer IV, and another Panzer IV, and I said, "Friendly neighborhood moron." It was more of a joke towards Spider-Man, but clearly people like this get offended by it. He left a dislike on the video, even though he watched the entire thing, but literally because of that one thing, he says, "Yeah, I think I'll skip your channel." Yeah, okay, that's your decision, mate. But if you can't handle the truth, then that might have been him for all I know in that match. That M2A4, that maybe was him. We just don't know. But let's put it this way: this this comment kind of made me laugh, but at the same time, like, why do you need to take something so serious? If I'm pointing out the obvious, it's not that bad. Like, come on, just learn to take it sometimes, you know. Next comment, we have Tidal Waves. You may remember him from episode 3, where I think he said, "How do you aim in gunner view around the front?" And he now asks how to free look. Again, default keybind. It's C. Ugh. Oh, and this isn't even the worst one. I'd just like to say that right now. We're not even towards the end, because there's a worse one than this. If you think free looking is bad, you ain't seen nothing yet. Let's put it that way. But I had to bring up this one because, my god, this made my brain hurt. Next up, we have, and that's a bit of a bug with the, you might have seen that small bit of text. That's just an overlap. That's just a bug with photos, unfortunately. We have Grady Scroggins, who says, "If anybody is a R, which means retard," I knew what he was referencing, "it's you. The B-17 wasn't just durable, it was legendary for taking a hit. Plus, if you go a long way, by the time you get to your target, the match is already over." The rest of the comment is something about moving base bombing points further into the map so it's easy for bombers to get to, which I do agree with that part, but the first part is a bit unnecessary because For a start, I did mention that in the video, which you clearly skipped. And if you're going to try and insult me, how about you actually look in the mirror and realize, oh, I didn't watch the full video because Joe clearly stated that. And besides, you're watching a 2-year-old review where quite a bit has changed in ARB. Why would you watch a review which is already titled outdated and then post a comment like this? Like, come on. Use a little bit of common sense. It's really not that hard. But then again, it's clearly too much for most people nowadays. Next comment, we have Damien Rivoli. I don't know how the fuck you say that. For dislike, for put an shitty meme in the thumbnail. Now this thumbnail right here, I'm just gonna zoom in so you can have a look. This was one of my very first thumbnails that I did. I'll admit it's shit, but it's French. I had to take the piss out of French. Sorry, I'll conceal. I had to, mate. This was back when I got a sub request to do like a advice guide sort of thing on the M1139. This was not long after my channel started, and because the French tanks were terrifying to this poor little Italian tank, I had to put the scary face and, of course, the white flag. But, of course, people do get offended by it, and I said, imagine getting offended over a joke thumbnail that I don't even remember doing like 2 years ago. You ain't gonna like YouTube in general, dude. There's a lot worse joke thumbnails out there than mine. If you're getting that offended over something so little and so meaningless, just learn to take a joke. I mean, I know this is 2021 and we have more snowflakes than we know what to do with, but just grow up. It's really not that hard. Like, come on. You don't need to dislike a video just because of the fucking thumbnail. If you don't like the content creator, I can understand that, but just for a thumbnail, just for a little bit of a joke at the French? Jeez. Some people. Next up, now this one doesn't just apply to Chipper Aris. I was using his as an example for this one. Quite a lot of people seem to come onto my channel and look at sub requests, normal gameplay like the Talisman series, and think it's some kind of review. Now, of course, I'm not just going to say this is Chipper Aris. There's a lot more people that do this, but I'd just like to bring this up. My sub requests and stuff like that are not to be considered as reviews. They are to be simply gameplay elements and gameplay footage of how I would play the vehicle. Of course, if people specifically request me to play it in a specific way, then you'd have that. But these are not reviews, and I don't want people to have that false, shall we say, false like mindset, because I don't want people going, oh, I'll send this to my mate. It's a good review. It's not a review. If it's a review, it would say it in the title. I would always put it in the title if it's a review. If you want me to review planes, fair enough. I don't review planes I've already spaded, like the J2M. But if you do want me to review something, I will review it. Like at the moment, I'm working on several different jets. But just try and use a bit of common sense. If it doesn't say it in the title, it's not a review. Just saying. Like I say, don't take the piss out of Chipper here. It's not just him, several others, but I'm just using his for an example because I couldn't be bothered to dig back through my comments and actually have a look. But yeah, don't take it as a review, please, because they're not reviews. I can promise you that. Next up, we have this one's actually quite funny because I actually know this guy IRL. He's in my Discord and his name's Lewis. Um, and he asked me, I've not watched your dumb comments series. Could I perhaps write a dumb comment or something like that and get into the video? And I was like, sure, go ahead. And he he decided to bring up some proper jokes. Like at one point in my life, I couldn't ride a bike very well. Um, I didn't really learn to ride a bike till I was like 12, 13, because I just didn't. So unfortunately, YouTube deleted the comment because he put the word motherfucker. So that didn't help. But he says, look at this right scrapyard. shit heap looking motherfucker. I bet he can't even ride a bike with stabilizers. Nowadays I can. I can ride a bike without stabilizers. I've done it in years because my last bike broke, unfortunately. Um, I might treat myself to one after this year. Maybe get myself a mountain bike. But yeah, I don't ride bikes anymore. But it was rather funny to see him actually have a good attempt, although he should have brought up some stuff from secondary school. That would have been pretty funny. But yeah, it was pretty funny to have this comment, but he wanted to be featured, so there you go. He's been featured now. Welcome to the channel, Lewis. Next up, we have the comment I was on about earlier, with tidal waves. This isn't even the dumbest one, and now this is the dumbest one. What is the button, not button, to drop the bomb I forgot in the trading thing for bombers, please? If you forgot, you can redo the fucking tutorial. Oh, I swear, my brain, like, it's 9:45 in the morning. I might just go back to fucking bed at this rate, like, Jesus. Because when you have to read comments like this, it's kind of stupid. It's default keybind to space. And if you haven't remembered what the button is, just redo the tutorial. It's not that hard. But no, people like this have to go on to, I think this is the Dornier 17 E1 Talisman series flight. Out of all the videos you could have gone to, you went to that one? I mean, it's not like my bomber guide was out at the time. Dumbass. But, oh well. That's just how some people are, unfortunately. Next up, we have Fire Shadow 75, who claims that the Japanese Corsair, the F4U-1A, is apparently a F4U-1A US Marine Corps. No, it isn't. If you actually look at the player card, or the stat card of the vehicle, it's Naval Fighter, even though from what I've heard from Harry, it should be a US Marine Corps one. At least from what I've heard, I can't confirm that. But from what I've been told, it should be a US Marine Corps one, but it's not. It has a tailhook. I have confirmed that. It has a tailhook. It is a carrier Corsair. And even then, you're spelling Japanese completely wrong. Why are you putting an extra E? Come on, I know you're channeling your inner shadow because you're named Fire Shadow, but for fuck's sake, just spell it right. It's really not that hard. And he claims it makes it insanely broken. It's already a very good 3.3 at 2.7. Don't get me wrong, the F4U-1A shouldn't be 2.7. It should be 3.0 minimum. But even then, it is not the US Marine Corps variant. It is the naval variant, which means it's slightly heavier than the US Marine Corps variant. Not by a lot, but it's still something to consider. So if you're going to comment like this, please, for the love of God, just use a bit of common sense. It's not that hard. And finally, we have Brandon Liao, I think that's how you say it, on my brief bomber guide video, Joe's brief bomber guide video. And this was actually pretty funny. He goes into the video saying, bombing charts, people, you can find these online, which, yeah, you can. That's a fair comment to make. Make sure you're using your bombs wisely and not dropping a full load on a single base. Again, that's a good bit of advice. That first part of the comment, or the first two parts, was completely fine. And then he chats shit with a single B-17 Flying Fortress is capable it should be of taking, out 3 bases with 1 payload. Yeah, probably in Clad Cuckoo Land, or maybe how far you are up your own arse, but no, it can't. The most a B-17 is taking is probably 2 bases, and that's a B-17G doing that. A single B-17 cannot take out all 3 bases with just 1 payload. It's just not happening, alright? Sure, if someone else has weakened the bases for you, yes, you will be able to take out all 3 bases, but then that's not you doing it. That's someone else and you doing it. So that doesn't count. So if you're going to make a dumb comment like this, even though, let's be real, the series has been well watched and well loved by people, But if you're going to make a comment like this, please try and speak the facts. It's really not that hard. But anyway, I'm going to leave it at that for today. Funny enough, I have another dumb comment to screenshot so I can save it for episode 5. But I hope you enjoyed today's episode on episode 4 of Dumb Comments. I know you all love this series. There is a playlist for this, so if you ever want to binge watch them all, there is that. But I hope to see you all on the next one.